Well, good morning, friends, and welcome to our Easter Monday Bible reflections. I'd like now to move from the Gospel of Mark and now have a look at the Gospel of Luke. And it's Luke 24 and it's verses 13 through to 31. It's the walk to Emmaus. And again, to offer just a few brief comments afterwards. That same day, two of Jesus' followers were walking to the village of Emmaus, 7 miles from Jerusalem. As they walked along, they were talking about everything that had happened. As they talked and discussed these things, Jesus himself suddenly came and began walking with them, but God kept them from recognizing him. He asked them, "What are you discussing so intently as you walk along?" They stopped short, sadness written across their faces. Then one of them, Cleopas, replied, "You must be the only one in Jerusalem who hasn't heard about all the things that have happened there over the last few days." "What things?" Jesus asked. "The things that happened to Jesus, the man from Nazareth. They said he was a prophet who did powerful miracles, and he was a mighty teacher in the eyes of God and all the people. But our leading priests and other religious leaders handed him over to be condemned to death, and they crucified him. We had hoped he was the Messiah who had come to rescue Israel, and this all happened 3 days ago." Then some women from our group of his followers, were at his tomb early this morning, and they came back with an amazing report. They said the body was missing, and they said they'd seen angels who told them Jesus is alive. Some of our men ran to see, and sure enough, his body was gone, just as the women had said. And Jesus said to them, "You foolish people, you find it so hard to believe all the prophets wrote in the scriptures. Wasn't it clearly predicted that the Messiah will have to suffer all these things before entering his glory?" Then Jesus took them through the writings of Moses and all the prophets from the scriptures, explaining from the scriptures the things concerning himself. By this time they were nearing Emmaus at the end of their journey. Jesus acted as if he were going on, but they begged him, "Stay the night with us since it's getting late." So he went home with them, and as they sat down to eat, he took the bread and blessed it. Then he broke it and gave it to them, and suddenly their eyes were opened and they recognized him. And at that moment he disappeared. We give thanks to God for our reading from Scripture. May God add his blessing to our hearing of his word. It's a wonderful passage, and I think, for me at least, it reminds us that we can meet with Christ in unexpected places. We can meet with Christ where perhaps we don't expect to find him or to see him. We can meet with Christ in the company of others. We can meet with Christ in those not just who are most like us, but those who appear to be most different to us by habit or background or conviction. My message this morning, friends, is let today have something of that same experience of the road to Emmaus. Let's find Christ in those unexpected places, with friends and neighbours we may wave at across the street, or may speak after, or call after, or send that email to. Let's find Christ in other people. If we do that and honour the Christ we find, then, like those who spoke with Jesus those millennia ago on the road to Emmaus, we do well indeed. Look for Christ today amongst people you speak to, and be ready to meet him there. May God bless you all, and I look forward for you to joining us again tomorrow. Amen.